Hey y'all, what's up, what's up? I'm so excited today, y'all. It's really about to go up. It's Wednesday. We all know what today is, okay? Today is me and my homegirls. What's up? What's up, Lami? What's up, Toyin? We are here today, y'all. We really kicking it, okay? Because today, y'all, it's me and my homegirls, okay? I'm bringing my girls in today so we can chop it up and talk about our girl, Pastor Sarah Jakes Roberts, y'all. She dropped a book this week. It's Woman Evolve time, y'all. We all evolving out here, okay? She dropped her book yesterday, Woman Evolve, Breaking Up with Your Fears and Revolutionizing Your Life. Yes, last night was fire, girl. Yes, gave you all the life. I'm trying to tell you, Pastor Sarah dropped this book. She's having all of these meet and greets last night. She gave amazing words talking about the book and the impact it's had on her. And I am so excited to watch everybody evolve. It's about to go down. Y'all coming in today, okay? Yes, heal, girl, heal, okay? Let's talk, boo. I know that's right. You were in, yes, come on. So, Heal Girl Heal was on tour with us. Come on. She saw Pastor Sarah when she was in Chicago. I'm trying to tell y'all, it goes down. So today we're going to be talking to women all over that have been impacted by the movement. I guess I could jump right on in because everybody coming in, really excited about it. So let me tell y'all just a little bit about me and how Woman Evolve has had an impact on me. So if you follow me, you already see my journey. You know I've came from Flint, Michigan. I now live in Los Angeles, California. But it was a huge journey, right, in between that time. So just to give you a little bit of my background, prior to 2016, prior to that, I was living life ordinarily. I had goals just like everybody else, but my goals primarily revolved around financial stability and just being able to provide for my family along with my husband, having a comfortable life. And that was about it, you know? And so during that time, I'm living life, and then I walk into One LA with Pastor Sarah in 2016. I meet this woman in the pulpit, and y'all, she is in the pulpit telling our real truth, organically, authentically, raw, in ways that we have never heard before in the pulpit, things that we would be otherwise ashamed to even admit. She was in the pulpit saying, baby, not only do I see you, I've been there too. So immediately upon listening to her, I'm like, yo, who is Shorty? Like, what's going on? So at that time, I became intrigued because she talked a lot about purpose. And prior to that, I had never really thought about what my purpose was in the earth. It was more so just making sure that I provide for my children, you know? And so she started talking about purpose. And soon after that, she released a book called Don't Settle for Safe. Okay, y'all, that book changed my life because I realized in that moment that what I was seeking was the safe route, right? It's to go to college, get a job, retire from that job, provide, live comfortable. That's what I was doing before. But I never really tapped in to what would fulfill me. I never really even thought about those things because I thought even if it did fulfill me, it was unattainable. I thought I needed to have like prior training. I thought I needed to have always been pursuing that thing. So reading Don't Settle for Safe allowed me to step outside of my comfort zone. It allowed me to look at the true desires of my heart and the things that I really wanted to do in the earth. So at that time, y'all, I'm 35 years old. And what I wanted to do was dance, because that's something I had did my whole life. But I'm like, girl, bye. You 35 years old, child. Like, what is you talking about? Like, how is you about to get out here dancing? You got 2 kids, a husband. You need to sit down somewhere. So after reading the book, I'm like, let me just take baby steps, okay? So my son's a dancer, and I started going to dance classes with him. And some of you may already know this story, but I started going to dance classes with him. I started popping out in class. They start asking me to do solos. They start incorporating me in videos, YouTube videos. Fast forward, I started like getting the courage to start auditioning, to start going out and pursuing it. And it actually panned out. And I actually had the opportunity to do some of those things that were desired in my heart. I had an opportunity to dance. I had a chance to do things that I thought wasn't attainable. So when that happened, that opened up a whole new world for me, because I'm like, what? So this is something that I always could have pursued, but I was just scared to do it, right? So I did it. I stepped out, and in that moment, I was so empowered. But I was only empowered enough to do the things I was comfortable with doing. So I had danced my whole life. I was confident in that, and so I was okay to step out and do that. But hosting was something I always wanted to do. But I didn't go to college for broadcast journalism. I had no previous experience for it. It was just something in my heart. And Pastor Sarah, the Woman Evolve movement, when it began, she started it with a conference. And some of the women that I'm going to bring on today remember that conference in 2018 in Denver, Colorado. And when she got ready to launch that thing, guess what, y'all? Why did she turn to me and ask me to host? I had never hosted before, ever. It was just something that was in my heart, but I never spoke it out my mouth. So even though I had the courage to pursue something that I thought maybe couldn't be attainable, but I had previous experience in, she gave me a moment where I stepped out on true faith. Because y'all, hosting, it's one thing to host like a handful of people, and then it's another thing to host 3,000 people, and you've never hosted a day in your life, okay? And so in that moment, I stepped out there, and that was a true leap of faith. And while I was doing it, y'all, I came alive. A part of me on the inside that I had never felt before was revealed to me. And from that moment, I knew that I had true purpose in the earth, and I knew that no matter if I had the skills that I thought I needed, if I had the training that I thought I was supposed to have, no matter what, if there is something that God has called you to do in the earth, he will use you to do those things. And so through Woman Evolve giving me that platform, I was able to discover it. But not only discover it, I found other sisters. I had other women that were right beside me that were also saying, yes, sis, like I have these doubts and fears about myself. I have these things I really want to do, but I'm just scared to step out and do it. And we had each other where we could lock arms and look at one another like, look, we all scared to do it, but we know that there's a calling in this earth that has our name on it. Nobody else can do it, y'all. And before that, I thought, you know what? Even though I want to host, you know what I'm saying? Because I haven't had experience, let somebody else do that. They worked hard for that thing. They worked hard for it. But do you know, as soon as God opened up the door, when I tell you, okay, 10 toes down, I'm like, I'm putting all the effort toward it, okay? And he met me right there. So through Woman Evolve, not only did it allow me a platform to discover my talents, my gifts, my desires revealed to me. In addition to that, I met so many sisters all over the U.S. that have the same inspirations. They have the same dreams. They have the same desires. And we all lean on one another, and the impact has been the most amazing. I've watched women come, because you can come to the community just as you are. You literally come with all your fears, your doubts. It's a place where you can be vulnerable. It's a place where you can feel comfortable to share your dreams and the things that you want to do, because you have other women that are there, that are pushing you on, that are supporting you, that are rooting you on. And it's something about that sisterhood that won't allow you to quit. It's something about that sisterhood that allows me to get on the live every Wednesday when I'm about to throw up, I'm about to pass out, because just so you know, it didn't get easier. Just because I had a chance to host on tour with Pastor Sarah. Mind you, we went to over 15 different cities. We've talked to over 30,000 women. Even though I've done that, even though I've been doing me and my homegirls on the live, even though I'm in my home every single time, y'all, the doubts and the fears, they creep up. Every single time I'm nervous. Every single time I'm like, oh my gosh, what are they going to say? How are they going to judge me? You know? But it's like I still show up because I know that I have a calling in this earth and there is something that he has for me. So that's what Woman Evolve has taught me. It took me from just wanting to just live a regular life that was more about me. The life that I was seeking was more about me. You see, I said financial gain. You see, I said stability, things that were things I could accomplish with my own hands. But I learned what true faith is. And true faith is going after what those desires are. It's going after your true purpose in this earth. And when you feel that thing, when you get in that thing, you'll know. You'll know, and it's going to call at you. No matter if it's hard or if it's difficult, it's still going to call at you. You know, I tell my friends all the time, my dreams are like babies, right? Like your babies, they're so sacred to you, right? You don't let everybody watch your baby, right? But when and even with that, you know, you have to be comfortable. You have to be secure with the people that you share it with. And that's what this community has provided for me. Right? With your baby, you also have to nurture that thing. So with the purpose, I'm nurturing it, but I'm nurturing it amongst other midwives and other women that are there nurturing with me. Woman Evolve is a real thing. And I don't want to just tell you for myself. I want you to be able to hear from other women in the delegation, because that's what we call ourselves. Okay? The Woman Evolve Delegation. We out here. So if y'all are on the live right now, I want to hear from some of you. I want other women that don't know about Pastor Sarah, that don't know about the Woman Evolve movement, to not only hear my testimony and how it's tremendously changed my life and the trajectory of it, but I also want to have an opportunity for them to hear from you guys. So, where my delegation at? Where my girls at? If y'all want to request to come in, share your heart, tell us a little bit about how Woman Evolve has impacted your life. Let me know, sis. Come on in. I see some of my girls on the delegation on here. Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Let me see. Let me request some women to come in and talk. Let's see. Do I have some people? Hi, here goes somebody. Okay, y'all. Through Woman Evolve, can I just tell y'all, I've met some dope women. I'm talking about women that I would have never met had it not been for Woman Evolve. And they have turned into my real life sisters. I'm about to bring one of them in right now. I gotta bring her because she goes so hard. Oh, here's one. Here she go. All right. I'm going to have one of my girls come in, talk to us a little bit.
Hey!
Hey, Jamie.
My Kayla.
How you doing, boo?
I'm good. How are you? How's the West Coast?
You know, we doing good over here. We sunny. You know what I'm saying? We warm out here. How y'all doing over there on the East Coast?
Listen, we got all the pollen that has ever been created. We have it all. We have it all.
So how your allergies doing, boo? You okay?
Luckily,
You got your
I'm
clarity?
fine. I'm fine, but the husband and the son about to die. Like,
Oh.
they can't handle it. They can't handle it, but I'm fine.
Well, amen. I'm glad you're covered, sis. You know what I'm saying? We
Yes.
got you. We got you.
Yes.
I love it. So, Jamie,
Yes.
I have to tell. Okay, so I met Jamie as a volunteer with Woman Evolve. Was it the first conference, Jamie, or the second?
It was the second one in 2019.
In 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. In 2019, Jamie volunteered with Woman Evolve.
Yeah.
She was so quiet, so shy. I could barely get anything out of Jamie, okay? And if any of y'all already know Jamie to Woman Evolve, you like, what? Jamie was quiet. She was shy. Like, she's so outspoken, but she's always been a wordsmith. That never went away. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was there at the very beginning. But now, Jamie is out here. So I need to hear, Jamie, how radically has your life changed since you've been introduced to Woman Evolve?
So crazy. So for me, I had no idea that Pastor Sarah was Pastor Sarah. Like, I was just listening to the podcast. I'm listening to the podcast and I'm like, yo, she's bomb. Like, she's like somebody that could be in my group chat or whatever. So on the podcast, she was like, I'm going to have a conference, whatever. So I'm like, I'm going to Denver. Like, I don't know who I'm going with. I don't know what this conference is going to be about, but I'm going because since this podcast is lit, so whatever she's going to do is going to be lit.
Yes.
Get to the conference, and I'm like listening to every podcast episode, whatever. Get to the conference and like lose it. Mind you, I didn't grow up in church or anything like that.
Ditto. Well, I mean, I went to church though, because my mom and daddy on here. They're like, yes, you did, child. You went to church.
Well, so here's my thing. I went to church with my mentor only to get away from like my crazy home life. So like church was an escape. Like, I was excited to go to church. Can't tell you where nothing is in the Bible. I was just there for 2 hours.
Talk about it.
Listen. So I went to church periodically or whatever, but I'm at the first conference and Dana sings this song by, I think his name is Phil Thompson, and it's like, God, I trust you. And like, I wear glasses. Take the glasses off, stick them in my shirt. I'm boo-hoo crying. Mind you, I'm super guarded. I don't like for people to see me cry. Like you said, I'm like reserved unless you know me. I'm boo-hoo crying in front of all of these thousands and thousands of women, and I'm just like, it's just me and you in here, God. Like, and it was just such a powerful, powerful moment. And right before we went for the last session, I bought my ticket for the inner circle for the next year because, you know, them things sell out quick. And so I had told one of my cousins while we were there, I said, I want to work for her one day. Mind you, in real life, I work in law enforcement. I do nothing that has anything to do with where I think it could connect with Woman Evolve or Pastor Sarah. So I told my cousin, I was like, I want to work with her one day. And she was like, you will. And I was like, how? Like, what am I be her security? Like, you know, 'cause I'm trying to connect it to what I do. So she was like, you will, whatever. So a couple months go by and I just have this like inkling, like I should just jump in her DM and like tell her I'm a volunteer. Like, I'm gonna figure something out. That week, they post something saying like, you know, you can send your resume or your portfolio for all these things. Like, if you're a designer and all this. And I'm like, I don't have a resume, but I think I could put some words together. Like, I like the way that I write. Like, I can figure something out. So I dive in her DM and I'm like, look, I don't know if this is how this thing works. Like, if people are supposed to email you or how this works, but I want to volunteer. Like, I need to be. And my whole thing was, I want to give back to something that has given so much to me. And this was like from July to maybe August or September. And I'm still riding off of that high. And Name is British said that first conference was crazy. So like, I literally lived off of that word for like a year. Like, I was so like just on go. And so I just wanted to be able to give back to something that gave to me. Like, it literally changed how I showed up in my marriage, how I showed up as a mom, how I showed up as a friend. And so she eventually said yes. I started writing the descriptions for the podcast. And then 2019 rolled around when we met. And so I'm in this room and I don't talk like unless somebody's talking to me or whatever. So like Sue and Amanda was like, oh, she's so good. And I'm just like, okay, we can stop. Like, let's continue with whatever, you know, we don't have to do this. And so that it was such a moment. And I remember messaging Pastor Sarah that night and I was like, I hope I can live up to these expectations. I don't want to let anybody down. And she just was so affirming and saying, you know, you wouldn't be here. God wouldn't put you anywhere that you don't deserve to be. And so that for me was just like, all right, like it's go time. Like 10 toes down, let's go. Like, you asked to be here, show why you're here. And so I've been given so many opportunities through Pastor Sarah's Woman Evolve. Like, it was a playground. Like, she allowed me to do so much, you know. And she has been just such like a gem, such a like just everything for so many of us, wearing so many different hats for so many of us. But for me, I would say, because obviously she's a writer, she is one of my favorite when you read anything that this woman can write a caption And
Yes.
it could be a movie. Like, she is just like, I told her she has a PhD in caption writing. Like,
Yes.
you claim you dropped out of college, but I think you lying to us because
Right.
like how? Like how? And
Yes.
so just to be able to be mentored by her in writing is just
Yes.
like the dopest thing ever. Like, I could shoot her an email like, hey, can you read this real quick? Correct this. Like, goals. That is just like, it's such an amazing thing. But I would honestly say just to be able to serve her vision and to be able to, like I said, give back to something that gave so much to me beyond, like, has given to my son, and she's never met my son, has given to my grandchild. My son is only 7. Like, that is life-changing, and I will forever be a part of the delegation.
In every way, I'm telling you. And one thing, like, I'm not gonna stay right here because my girls is like, am I gonna be able to get in or not? But look, I really want to touch on a point though, because I saw similarities in our stories when you were talking about just the inadequacy of where you were. You know, like you said, you didn't grow up in church, you didn't know how you would fit the vision, you know. And that's something that I also share. And it's something that's so beautiful about Woman Evolve, because it's women that come from all different walks of life. Some women that have been in church for the entire, you know, their whole life. And some women that's like, oh, you a pastor? I thought it was just the podcast, you know, like we be going in, you know, and it's like it's all different kinds of women. But as we all have come in, we've all been affirmed. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're in it and we're doing things. It's the same thing with me. I'm like, I've never hosted ever, and you trust me to go on tour. I don't have a resume to give you. I don't have no previous reels for you. And she said the exact same thing. God wouldn't have brought you to the movement if you weren't more than equipped to be able to fulfill the, you know, the obligation to the movement. So it's been such a beautiful thing. And I think also just having each other, you know, I've watched your journey, and just watching you, we stay in each other DMs, right? Like, just encouraging one another and supporting one another. And I think that's such a beautiful thing, especially for women, because so oftentimes we have like this negative connotation about women and the relationships they have or the sisterhoods that they form. And it's like, we're showing a real sisterhood. And
let me tell you, I will flip a table about this one.
Listen. Like, you better not come for Jamie. Like, what? I'm waiting, G. What? You write all over the place. I'm on the blogs. Like, what? Everybody cool over here? So Nicole, everybody cool? Okay. Let's make sure. Jasmine Bray, y'all good? Okay, I just want to make sure. Just need to make sure. But no, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Thank you for sharing your heart, Jamie. Thank you for telling everybody just about what the movement truly has been to you. Because I think it's one thing to hear, you know, Pastor Sarah talk about the movement, but it's another thing to hear the testimonies of the women that have been directly impacted by it. And also, before you get off, we need to talk about Revelations 12 and 6.
So there's this thing that, and that came from Woman Evolve. So
that's what I'm saying. Even your business partners, like, did you know them before that?
No, we met through Woman Evolve. So me and Tef, somehow, I think, so the first conference, everybody was just so hype and so geeked, like following the hashtag. Somehow her and I started following each other. And then her and our friend Lanisha, the other person for Rev 12.6, they were cool with each other. And so Tef was basically our common denominator. And so we decided, like, yo, we're too creative. Like, I write, Lanisha has a design business, and Tef can put any video together. Like, we're all just too creative to just be in the group chat saying, oh, we should do this or you should do that. Like, let's just put this thing together and put it out into the world. And so last October, we started this business together, Rev 12.6. And so we create dope clothes, shirts. We have buttons, and it's rev126.com, rev12six.com, if you want to shop with us.
Yes, we shopping. We out here. Come on, Woman Evolve. I love it. Jamie, I love you. I wish I could hug you. I'm so happy Rona is gonna.
Yes.
And hopefully I get a chance to see you this summer, boo.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too. Thank you so much for doing this. Thank you so much for not, you know, letting your fears win and just bringing us on the journey with you. Your blog is so bomb. You are so bomb. Like, we are just blessed to have you, like, in our lives. And I love you, love you, love you so much.
Thank you. I love you more, Jamie. Good seeing you, sis.
Bye, y'all.
Thanks for coming through.
You're welcome.
Oh my gosh, y'all. Do you see how dope these women are? I'm trying to tell you. It has been more than a blessing. I see Nia on there. Hey, boo. That's my friend all the way in London. Y'all hear me? I got a friend in London. Thanks. Only one, but I got one. All right. Let's see who we going live with next. Let's see who coming in the room today. Let's see who coming in. Oh, come on, IG. Don't play with me. Brittany!
Hey!
What's up,
good?
What's good? So listen, okay, so straight up, homegirls, y'all know, I know British outside of Woman Evolve. Y'all know that. Y'all knew I knew British before
The
Woman
church.
Evolve. However, Brad, woo, you want to talk about impact. Pastor Sarah and the movement has had a huge impact on my girl. She got to tell y'all just a little something, even what she got going on right now. What's up, Brad?
What
How
up?
has Woman Evolve impacted your life?
Woman Evolve. Let's just talk about Sarah Jakes Roberts real quick. So, what was her name? The last girl that was just on.
Jamie.
So she said she didn't know who Sarah was. Neither did I.
Yeah,
right? Didn't know who she was until my very first sermon was her very first sermon at the church. Mm-hmm. Like, so I didn't even know who she was at the time. Like, she came up as Sarah Jakes, and I'm like, oh, okay, this little girl, because she looked like a little baby at the time, was coming to preach, and she preached, and I was like, oh, I gotta come to this church. Hey, all y'all in the comments, I see y'all. I was like, oh, I gotta come to this church. Like, if she finna be here, I'm finna be here. Like, it was 30 minutes. It was quick. She was in, she was out, but it was powerful. And I was like, I don't know who she is, but I want to be connected, right? So coming to the church, come to find out she engaged to the pastor. So I'm like, oh, this is my church. Like, this is family dynamic, right? And then just watching her evolve from then on, like, I wasn't expecting that. I'm pretty sure she wasn't expecting it. Like, I didn't know her during blog Sarah Jakes, right?
Right.
And I didn't know her before the books that she had before she, came to LA, but it was just something about her light, like, and her willingness to do it. Cause I could tell she was nervous that first time, but her willingness to just go past the nerves and continue to show up. Like you said before, you are super nervous when you're getting ready to get on stage all the time, but that's a thing, but you do it anyway. And that was just always one of her things, is just doing it anyway. And so just watching that as a young girl who just moved to Cali, like, by myself and didn't know nobody or anything, that was inspirational in itself. But when it came up time for, like, Woman Evolve to start getting together and me going to that first conference, I was blown away. Like, I had never seen nothing like that. And I grew up in church, and I've been to Mother's Day.
Patrice, so that was her first time talking at the church. So then that was my first time seeing her, because I'm a mama. And I was like, yo, who is Shorty? But I was new to the church, so I didn't know.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. So that was my, like, first ever sermon at the church. Like, I didn't know nothing. So anyway, fast forward to Woman Evolve. That first conference, like, I wasn't even supposed to go. I was supposed to be working back at the church, but I was like, no, I have to get to this conference. Like, this is my pastor. How you gonna tell me I can't? Like, what? Yeah. Like, so go to the conference, and I was just blown away. I grew up in church, like I said, and I've seen stuff, but, like, that was a different type of thing. It's something to be said about a woman who can make other women who collectively decided that we're all going to go to heaven and have some words with Eve, or give her a little tap on the shoulder, hey, sis, what's up? It's something about a woman who can make all of us collectively be like, hold on, there's something inside of her that's inside of me. Like, I'm just like Eve. if it were me in the garden, I probably most likely 100%
Oh, definitely.
would have done the same
Definitely.
thing.
Like, oh, what's that talking about? What's
The
that?
same
What's the
thing.
apple talking
So like
about?
I didn't have this, what she say? Exactly. So I didn't have this relationship with Eve. I wanted to go see sis every month. You got me going through something I don't want to go through. Like, so let's talk about it. But it's something to be said about a woman who can make other women see themselves. Like, she's a visionary. Like, and I said this before. She's kind of like, I don't know if y'all watch baseball or softball, but they say good eye when a batter is at the plate and doesn't hit a foul ball, because they're able to see exactly what's coming towards them. And if it's wrong, they're not just gonna swing at anything. They know exactly what to swing at, and that's exactly what she does with like her books, her messages, her captions. Like everything that she does, she knows exactly what to swing at. And I know she said, like, when she went live with you, that she just be doing stuff, but she's doing the right stuff. Like,
absolutely.
It ain't
it's something about just saying, like, I'm doing stuff, because truly when you step out on faith, you are just doing stuff. Like, you're doing the things in your heart, but you don't have confirmation that those things are gonna work.
But it's all the most amazing like things and stuff that I wouldn't even think would have impact on me, but it's so much impact, and she's good at seeing. I remember I was at another conference and she was just like, I saw something in your eyes. I saw something in your eyes, and I just knew that you were going to change. And I did. Like, this was the year that my brother passed away, and I ended up going to a conference sometime in that year at TD Jakes' church, or Bishop TD Jakes' church. And there was a message that was preached, and I was like, oh my God, I finally get it, Lord. Like, I can come out of the mourning, like, I'm good. And she saw it. And then from the end of that year, I just propelled it to somebody else, but she saw it, and she's always seen me. And so sometimes I would walk around with like a cap on and some sunglasses on, because like, I'm like, today, sis, you don't have to see me. Like, I already know you don't see what I'm going through. But I appreciate it and love it, because it's, like she said, in the book, she says we want to be seen, like, and we really do. Like, we really want to be seen. And sometimes I try to hide that, but it was like, nah, take them shades off. Let me see your eyes. Put that hat up a little bit. Can I see your eyes? Like, there's always been moments where she's like, no, I want to see. Like, I want to see. Like, it ain't no, I don't want to see. You don't want to show me, so I ain't gonna look. No, I want to see what's going on with you. And she puts that stuff in books, and it makes you feel like she talking directly to me. Every message, like 2018, she preached Unleashed, right? And that's our word for this year. Right. So she preached Unleashed, and I was just like, what? And I'm gonna go back and listen to that word, actually, because we reestablished that for this year. But I was just like, like, you have to be close to the Father. Like, all that rest you get, and he got to be talking to you in your dreams, because you like to sleep. So I'm sure that's where he talked to you at. Like, and it's just the best. It's just the best. She's so personable. She, like, if impact had to be an acronym, I would probably be, I don't know, inspirational. M would probably be moving, mother like. P would probably be passionate. Yes. Passionate, patient. She's very patient. Ooh, especially with me. A would probably be accurate. She's very accurate. T would probably be what's a good T word? Y'all can come up with
transformational.
Transformational. P for powerful. C, I forgot C. Impact. C would probably be courageous. Like,
courageous.
Absolutely. She makes you want to have and work in your courage. And so even to where I am right now, like, I'm in a whole nother country, and what she said to me before I left was like, what up, Scott? What she said to me before I left was just the most moving, and made me feel like, okay, like, Lord, this is what you have for me. This is what you have for me. And I'm grateful for Sarah Jakes Roberts. Like, she isn't the only one who's spoken to my life before this trip, but it was just what she said that was like, oh, I get it. I get
Yeah.
it. Like, you see, you are close to the Father. I can tell you spend time with him. And
Yeah.
I'm grateful that you do that, because I know that that could be a sacrifice too when you have kids and you married and you a boss. Like, you are a
Absolutely.
boss
In every way.
in every way.
Yeah.
So, and I know that, spending time with Jesus is her most important thing, but I can tell that she does. Like, it ain't just something that people, like, it ain't something that she says, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I can
Because it's
see
carried
the
over
glory
in the movement,
in
in the
in the
movement in
whole
itself,
movement.
because it creates a community for all of us to be
Yeah.
transparent, all of us to be
Yeah.
able to share our hearts and encourage
Yeah,
each
it
other,
makes you want to move in such a way where, like, I'm evolving. I'm a woman who is evolving, and I will forever be evolving. And as long as this movement continues, I know I'll have a place to go, a place to fit in. Like, even if I
Absolutely.
don't know not a single person, I fit
Yes.
in here because we're all evolving together. And so
Together.
the community is everything. She is everything, and I'm praying that everything that she pours out, she just gets back, because there's so much that she pours. Like,
Yeah.
I can't imagine what the meetings are like,
Absolutely.
going
But
into.
that's why this is so necessary, because
Yeah,
oftentimes she's always doing and doing and doing.
yeah,
But just to be able to see the impacts of her
yeah,
reach and the movement, because she could have
yes,
easily just preached messages and that would still impact us, right? Because
right,
her messages, they
right,
hit every part of you. But creating a community for
yeah,
women to come together
hmm,
and really do it together and form these sisterhoods. Jamie just said she started a whole business with women
yeah,
she didn't even know prior to this movement.
yeah,
Like, it's a real thing. So
yeah,
it's beautiful. I know how Pastor Sarah has had a personal impact on your life. I
yeah.
know how
It's
the
real
movement
personal.
has. So I definitely thank you for coming
Of
in,
course. Shout out to
talking
Sarah.
to
Shout out
us.
to you. Yeah.
Yes.
Shout out
Come
to all
through.
the delegation in the comments. I see y'all. I love y'all. I hope you all are doing well. I hope that God is moving in your life. I hope that you're
Yeah.
hearing him, seeing him, and knowing that you're not alone. Like, the world about to open back up, so you will be able to get back together again and tell all about your 2020. I hope that your 2020 was worth it, and I hope that you saw God, but I hope that, Woman Evolve, like,
Yeah.
continues to help you. And then if y'all need to, like, just DM me. If y'all need to call me, DM me for my number. I'll give it to you. Like, this movement is so much bigger than, like, America, or,
Yeah.
like, the 15 cities that they've been at. I mean, it's huge.
It
It's
is.
huge, and I can't wait to see God continue to move in it. So I love y'all. I love you, Kayla.
Love you,
And
Brad. Love you.
I'll be on here to comment on everybody else to.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming through, Brad.
Of
Love
course,
you.
thank you for doing this. This was amazing. Love you too.
All right. See you. All right, y'all. You met my girl, Brad. I'm telling y'all, it's going down. So as you can see, like, Pastor Sarah in every way has had impacts. But I can't cut you off because my screen, it won't let me do nothing, child. Can you log out? Like, I don't know if you can stop it.
Oh, yeah, let me see if I can exit out of here. I'm sitting on here like, okay,
Yeah,
let me get out of here.
It's okay.
Oh, here we go, leave.
There we go. Bible. There we go. All right, we back in at the, I know, I got to be real because, it wouldn't let me exit her off. So no, but I'm telling you, in every way, she has been so impactful in our lives. And, it was really important for me to talk to people that have been impacted in all different ways. Like, British, that's our pastor. So she knows her in more of an intimate way. She knows, like, the true heart of Pastor Sarah to be able to show, because she's genuine. Everything that she does is genuine. Y'all stop. Why y'all fooling in the chat? I'm just being real. I'm trying to control this IG live. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk to multiple people. Y'all leave me alone. And I'm trying to be real. Come on, y'all stop. Okay. All right, let's bring somebody else in. Let's see what's popping. I'm going to try to get at least 2 more people in. Let me see who baby girl is. I think this is somebody from the delegation. Let me see. Who is Heal Girl Heal? I want to see who this is. Hey, girl. I hope you really part of the delegation. Hey,
You hear
girl.
me? Can you hear me?
I can see you. Hey, boo.
Hi. I'm just getting off of work, so I was like, let me get on because I could never catch it and get good reception. So
I love this. So what's your name, sis?
So my name is Sunny Perry Bailey. I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You and I have actually met before twice at the on tour, right? So
Yes.
I wanted to tell you, like, when the first tour I ever went to was the Wild Woman tour in Chicago.
Okay.
And I had my hair like in some like faux locks, and you walked past, and you were like, "Oh, I love that hair." I was like, "Girl, I love yours too," because our hair was similar, right? And I was
Yes.
like, "Oh," and I looked at my little sister. I said, "I feel in my spirit like she's somebody important." She was like, "What?" And I was like, "I'm telling you, she is somebody important." And then the event opened up, and guess who opened it up?
Hey,
You.
girl. I'm somebody important. You better
Yes.
say it. Okay.
Yes. So, so my sister was like, I said, I'm telling you, it was a vibe. I just felt it. So,
I
yeah.
love it. Well, sis, I'm just saying, I call it like I see it. You must have been killing it out here in these streets, okay? It
Girl,
is what
thank
it
you, boo.
is.
Thank you.
But no, so I love it. I feel like we follow each other, right? Like I feel like I've seen you on IG before.
So I inboxed you a picture from RTL Chicago. Me and you have a little picture.
That's what it is,
And
boo.
yes, but also we are on, when Pastor Jakes, when she did the mommy issues. Remember when she did the mommy issue series?
Yes.
I was selected as one of them. So yes.
Yes. Come on, Woman Evolve TV. You see what I'm
Yes.
saying? Come on. I love it. So now, so
Yeah.
let's talk, boo. Tell me a little
Okay.
more about how the Woman Evolve movement has impacted your life.
You know what? I remember the first time someone like sold, lost, and found into me during a season where I was suffering from accepting the fact that I had fallen. Like, I have been a church girl all my life, but there had been this mindset that perfection equated to purpose.
Woo!
And so I would carry all that with me, like, man, I fell short. Sometimes you're not surrounded by people who affirm you, or
Yes.
they just sometimes, if you are like one of those people in your generation where you've been called to like break the mold. And so like I always just felt like the black sheep, and like nothing was like going right. And so someone had sold the book Lost and Found into me. And it was during a season where I was just getting out of understanding, like, that I could officially admit that I had not only fallen from the pews, right, but I had
Mm.
fallen from the pulpit. I used to be a
Mm.
worship leader. And so I was like, oh my God, like, and so I didn't feel qualified. And so when they sold it into me, I just remember I had my 1-year-old baby on my arm. I
Mm.
already had a child that was 3. And I just was like, man, this was not the life I was supposed to have. But Pastor Jakes, I'm telling you what she has done for me. She has let me know that there is a place for me, that there
Whew.
is a space for me in this world. Like,
Yeah.
when you grow up not feeling like, like that there's a place for you, it doesn't matter where it is, community, church, home,
Yeah.
school. It just always felt like no matter where I went, there was like an issue with me just being who I am. But
Yeah.
connecting with her, I'm telling you, I felt like her surrender saved my life.
Yeah.
There was and it just pulled me. And so the first conference that I went to, on a tour, I had already had this vision kind of written down that I had been sitting on, because I was out of fear and not feeling like I was qualified enough to have a conversation about the things that God had done in my life, right?
Yeah.
And after coming to that first tour, I was like, I'm doing this. I was sitting, when I met you, I told my sister, I said, next year, if she do this again, I'm going to be in the front. I'm telling you, I'm doing what I need to do.
Come
So I
on.
went ahead and did my women's summit, which was all about just getting people to become okay with understanding that they need healing and to become assertive about their healing, right?
Yeah.
And so from that, I had created a shirt. And listen, Kayla, hear me what I say. When I say 2020 has blown my
Come on.
My
Come on.
Look, I went through so much trying to get to RTL Chicago. I went through so much. It was so many little things that normally discourage me.
Yeah.
And I kept feeling like no matter what I do, if I have to go by myself, I'm going to come. And I feel like I needed to bring like an alabaster box to her.
Come
and it was
on.
like, I came and I was like, I'm sewing this. She may not understand it, but I'm just going to let her know, like, I have to sew this into her. And it took so much courage to put on this shirt. And it's this shirt that says heal, right?
Yeah.
I took so much courage and I was like, I'm just going to do it. I met her, took a picture. While I'm taking a picture, I come up, Pastor PT, like, oh my God, your shirt is dope. And I'm like, oh my God. I never tell him, right? I never tell him that I own this shirt. God gave me this vision. I'm just sitting there like, okay.
Come
Okay.
on.
Everybody that's around me like, girl, you better celebrate. Look what God doing. I'm like, okay. And so I just start posting every day. Right?
Yeah.
And literally, all of a sudden, here come this opportunity for Pastor Jakes to be on the Woman Evolve TV thing. I was like, I'm just going to submit a video about the things that I can talk about with my mommy issues. Okay. Fast forward. So I'm like, oh my God, I got chose. Oh my God. Fast forward. I need y'all to hear this story, please. Don't cut me off. I need you to hear this.
Honey, I'm trying to sit down. I'm about to run. Go.
So listen, it was in June, my bishop had prophesied to me and he gave me a word, and it was, he ended up preaching, and it was stemming from what I had, something that God had given me. It was called Heal, Bro, Heal. So my organization is called Heal, Girl, Heal. And he gave me a word. He was like, I see something related to Heal, Bro, Heal. And I'm like, okay. I didn't tell him that I already had that written down. Heal, Men, Heal. Here comes September, right? I'm on I'm on the podcast live. I'm tuning in. And so she, for whatever reason, Pastor Jakes, I promise you, it was like my comments, she would be pulling them up. And I was like, oh my gosh, she read my comments. So I'm getting geeked like a little kid, right? She pulls up one of my comments that happened to show my picture, and I'm like, oh my God, they see my picture. Soon as I get off of that podcast, it encourages you to see the next thing. The next thing was a podcast called Heal, Bro, Heal.
Good night.
The episode, I promise you, I kid you not. The episode was called Heal, Bro, Heal.
What?
Normally, I'd be like, oh man, God, I missed my moment. I waited too late. I sat on it. I missed my moment. But something in my spirit told me to click on that episode. I watched it. My life shifted even more. During that after the podcast, I reached out. I obeyed the Holy Spirit to do what I needed to do. I sold what I was supposed to sow. The shirt and stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
And this ambassador, this man of God, I'm telling you, he's like my friend now. He was like, absolutely, right? And so like from there, everything, he wore the shirt and didn't even know he was about to be on the Breakfast Club with the shirt. Do you hear me?
Listen.
I didn't even understand. I'm telling you,
set up.
to this day, hear me what I say. It has been on the Breakfast Club. Taraji has rocked it. Dude, Marcus has rocked it. King J has rocked it. International orders have been coming through. I'm telling you. So when I say,
do what he tells you to do. Do what he tells you to do so he can show up, sis. Come on.
I'm telling you. My life has shifted, and I have gotten so much confirmation that the things that I have went through was not for nothing, that it was never about me needing to know, because I got so ashamed, feeling like I had grown up in church all my life and I was not as astute in the word as like, like I'm a mental health provider. I got degrees, whatever. I do this, I can roll with it. But for some reason, when it comes to breaking down the word, I always just feel like I have a deficit. Like I'm like, I gotta read it in the Message, the NLV. I gotta go through it until I can get to the HLT, and I call it the Hood Living Translation, right? So I'm like, God, make this simple. I'm like, make this simple. But I'm telling you, when you obey, and it was something about me feeling like I just gotta honor her, and I just gotta, you know what I'm saying? I just felt like I just had to get to her. You know how like
Yeah.
when they say, oh, the man was in the tree, like, man, Jesus is passing by, I gotta get to her.
Straight
That's
up.
what I felt.
Yep.
And I felt in my spirit that if I stuck with it, that something was going to happen.
Yeah.
And it is just amazing.
Ugh.
It is just amazing to
Ooh.
see how God is moving. So
Amen.
I just wanted to tell you my life has
Yo,
changed. She
straight
stayed with the
up.
gems. She
Straight up,
stayed with
sis.
the gems.
Listen, and can we give it up to you for your obedience, though? Everything you talked about was moments where you felt like, man, ain't nobody gonna really rock this. Man, I don't know if I should, but you did it anyway. It's something
Yes,
about that doing it anyway, so he can really show up for us. He wants
yes,
to show
yes,
up for us. And the way you did
yes.
it, man, Sonny, yo, when I tell you this is so God ordained. First of all, when I seen your request, sis, I'm like, I hope she a part of the delegation. G, I ain't trying to get
Look
on
at
here and have to go off on
look
nobody
at
because somebody got to come for my girl. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't play that. When it come to Pastor Sarah, but no, I had to touch it, and I'm so glad I did because your testimony has blessed me in such a way to already know, like, this all the things that we already know, right? When it comes to
yeah,
scripture, like we know our steps are ordered. We know all things
yes,
work together. We know all of these things, but when you actually walk it out and you share it,
yes,
yo, it's like who
yes.
listens to that story ain't gonna doubt anything. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Like
telling
everything is
you.
like, yo, he told me to do what? Let me just see what he's talking about. Like, let me see what that's talking about.
Look, in this book, look, I've already sold it to other women. Even though,
Yes.
look, I was a part of lunch, I was like, I gotta sow this
Come
because
on.
I realized, like, no, we stronger together. And then not only that, one thing I feel like being a part of it has let me know is like, no, it doesn't mean that you need to shrink back because there are themes that are coming up that you all are, addressing. It means you're right on the money. It means
Yes.
this is what God is trying to do on the earth.
Yes.
Don't miss this wave. Like, jump in that. Don't miss it.
Straight
You
up.
better get on it because you've been praying for clarity. You've been praying for God to show you signs as to where and what he wants you to do and where he wants you. You better get on it. You
Come
better take care
on.
of it. Oh,
We all
you
got
better not miss it.
assignments. Straight up, we all got assignments. It's like we soldiers. And it's like, hey, sis, you go that way. I'm going this way. We out here for the kingdom, period,
Yes,
point blank. So even
yes,
that, like right now, I know I have a call into women. Right? But it's like, let's all lock arms and you go over there and you get those women. And
yes,
whatever women didn't get that, let me go grab them women. Because we not leaving nobody behind, period, point blank. Because
yes,
we all got a call in the earth that's just
yes,
for us. So I am
yes.
so grateful for meeting you, Sonny. You
Look,
my
make sure you
homegirl,
follow
homegirl.
me back. Look,
I
follow
am
me
now,
back.
boo. If I don't
Okay.
already, you know it. We friends now, sis.
Yes, thank you so much. King J, he's on. This is the one that I was telling you
Also
with those
into, yes,
episodes.
it's good ground. Come
I'm
on,
telling you.
sewing. Come on, sis. We out here supporting and sewing, okay? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
I
Woman
love
Evolve
y'all.
said delegation for real, for real. You know it.
I love y'all.
We love
Okay.
you, Sonny. We love you.
Okay.
So thank you for your yes. Thank you for
Thank
your
you.
obedience because seriously, it's saving people everywhere. Seriously. And
Thank
so many
you.
people on here. I'm just watching the comments of them talking. And I'm so excited to see what they even do after listening to your testimony. So thank you for
Yes,
coming
yes.
in, Sonny.
You're welcome. You're
It's so
welcome.
nice
Look,
meeting you.
you too. I'm gonna try to get off here because I don't want you to have to tell me to get out.
Because you know I was going to tell you, sis, I'm going to need some
Yes.
help.
Okay.
All right,
Okay. Let
see
me
you,
leave.
Betty.
Okay.
Come on. This is so much fun, y'all. Come on. Sonny came all the way through. When I tell you showed up. And I don't even know Sonny, but like that's what it feels like. When you tell people like, oh, I'm on a delegation, you just automatically be like, what's good, boo? Like you think that's your homegirl because they really are. We're not that far separated. It's a real sisterhood. Kingdom is kingdom, period. No matter where you come from. So I am so excited. That was so good, y'all. We almost to an hour. I'm wondering, like, should I just wrap up? Should I bring in one more person? Let me see if I got anybody that wanted to come. Oh, I got some people. Okay, let me get one more. Okay, let me just get one more. Okay, let me see if I can get one more person to come in. Just one, and then I'm done. For real, for real. I'm done. Let me see. Oh, I got
Yo,
somebody to come in.
okay, I'm about to just embarrass myself on social media, but it's okay. We're gonna do
Oh my
this.
gosh, you hear that accent, y'all? That's my London
Hi,
friend. I'm international. I got international friends, y'all. What's
how
up,
are you,
Tanya?
friend? Guys, please, I know you've got all your fans in here. Don't judge me. It's like coming to 12 at night in London, so it's okay.
You see how the delegation shows up for each other, though? Do you really think that anybody gonna come and get on this live at midnight? You know what I'm saying? But we show up for one another. The delegation is a real situation. I'm treating IG like it's FaceTime, sis. It's okay. Hey, Tanya.
Hey, friend.
So look, there's no way I can do this and get off and see you on here and not have you come in. Because it's one thing to be here in the States, but it's another thing to have international love. And Tanya, when I tell you, she's probably the founder of the delegation. Because Tanya runs the Roberts fan page, right, Tanya?
Yes, that's me.
That's you. So when I tell you, Tanya, been about this game, okay? I love it. So Tanya, can you please? I truly want to know personally because, like, I know you through volunteering with Woman Evolve, but just on a personal level, I really would love to hear how Pastor Sarah and the Woman Evolve movement has impacted your life. I know.
I don't even know where to begin because I actually came across SJR when she was writing her blogs, when she was still, actually I think she had just, I don't know whether she had just divorced or she was still in her previous relationship, and she was just writing, but for her it was her therapy. It was just kind of writing. And I remember that time I was going through it in life, and her words were just like ministering to me, and I was just like, yes. Then I think Lost and Found came out, and I was in a relationship, and let's not even talk about, but yeah, I was in a relationship, and it wasn't really like, no, it was not like helpful at all to my mind, to anything like that. And I remember, like, women, we go through things, and when we're being cheated on, automatically we always want to come for the other woman. But I loved how SJR came from the perspective of what she had allowed in her life.
Yeah.
And for me, that just blew my mind away. And I always said to God, like, God, I don't know this woman doesn't know me from Adam, but one day I will tell her how she helped me and saved me from losing my mind, because it was just a really bad place. And I feel like because there's been so many things, like with my life, I've really fought in terms of health. It's been a fight generally throughout the whole course of my life. So throughout the course of the years, she would be watching Scandal. This was back in the day when Scandal was popping. So she would watch it, we'd be tweeting each other, I'd be like, oh my God, did you watch Scandal? And it was amazing. And then I came to LA in 2017, I think it was. And I literally tweeted, I'm in LA. I'm about to make my way to one LA. And I just tweeted SJ on PT. And SJ replied back like, we're in town. We're about to see you. And then I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. And I tweeted her again when I got to the church. And lo and behold, like, her and PT made a big deal out of me. Like, these were back in the days when midweek service would happen. And then they'll introduce like newcomers. Yeah. And like she was like, guys, how we're international church. We have our international family in the building. And I was like, me? And she got me to stand up. And I was so overwhelmed because of their love. And I think I've had the opportunity of meeting, I don't like saying this because I just believe that we're all human beings, but quote unquote celebrities. And you have an experience of them, and it's just like, oh, you're not really personable, you're not really lovely. Yeah. But when I say what people see about SJR and PT on stages, guys, yes. No word of a lie. I'm not even saying this to gas them up, but that's how they are, and so much more behind it. Exactly.
Absolutely.
And the way these people have sewed into me, and I think for me, not just that, I'm okay to talk about this because I did a video on Woman Evolve TV about this, but I also live, and obviously you don't know this, but a lot of people who have watched it will know this, I'm sure. who Jamie should know anyways. But I'm also, when I was talking about having health battles, I also live with HIV, right? So I think for me, one thing that I really struggled with was the diagnosis of that, and the shame of that, and the concept of like, oh my days, people will not love me, like just the inadequacy, and then there's a stigma behind it. And for me, I'm okay about it, but then it's just knowing that there are people who battle with that.
Yeah.
So for me, it was just like, how do I continue with life? Like, what would my life be all about? And then, like, again, when I say SJR really, when I say there's not enough words for me to just show my gratitude for the way she has loved on me. And people look at me on social media and say, oh my gosh, Tanya, you're so good with social media. Again, I can only thank SJR, because fast forward to December 2018, I believe. When did Woman Evolve launch? Was it 2018?
2018 is when it launched that summer.
December 2017, she messaged me on the Roberts fan page saying, look, me and PT want to host you. Bear in mind, I had only met them once after that. Yeah. And I was like, host me? I was like, what? They're like, yeah. Like, and again, I'm not saying this because, you know, I want them to get accolades, because these guys, when they do what they're doing, they're not doing it for accolades. They're doing it because from the bottom of their heart. Yep. These guys invested in me, paid for my whole trip, paid for everything. Like, I did not pay a dime. Yeah. They covered me, and I was like, well, sis, I'm the kind of person that I love to serve. So I was like, well, you can't just cover me and then I'm not going to do anything. Like, how can I serve you? This is your first baby. How can I serve you? And she's just like, oh, we need a social media correspondent. Sis, I need you to understand, I did not know what that meant. I was like, what is that? Okay, let's do it. I said, well,
right, you didn't even know what it was, but it's like, I'm there. Okay,
I was like, we're about to figure this out. We're gonna figure it out. Whatever it is, I'm here. I'm scared. I'm nervous. I don't know anyone. But the good thing about, and what I love about God, the way He's done my heart, is that He can put me. I can be put in any room, and I'll find a way to make friends. Yeah, that's just how I am. And so I got to Denver. I didn't know anybody, but I was like, hey, right. I got connected with an incredible team called Mac Creatives, and they just got me really plugged in. And it's literally from that first Woman Evolve where I've started to get opportunities which blew my mind away, social media wise. You know, I got opportunity to work with Bishop TD Jakes and social media team. Like, I would have never had that if I wasn't connected to SJR. And one thing I love about SJR, which I'm sure you know as well, like, she never goes somewhere and doesn't make room for you at the table. Like, she always invites you. She always invites you to the table. For her, it's not like, yeah, this is about me. It's, I want my name. No, she's like, no. There's, like, the slogan is for Women Evolve. No woman left behind.
No woman.
And that's what it is. And so when I say I can't even begin, there's so many facets, parts of my life where SJR has contributed. So it's been my health. There's been times when I've had absolutely nothing to, like, praying wise, when I'm like, I'm tired of praying for my health. Lord, this is a battle that I'm just a thorn that I'm just going to have to take to the cross. Okay, cool. But she's there to pray with me. She just knows how to message me and be like, you've been on my heart. Yeah. October just gone, my grandmother passed away. And this woman, I had no words. I don't want to cry on social media.
Straight up.
I just literally, like, I've never experienced that kind of pain in my life. Like, despite whatever I've gone through in life, I can never say that I didn't have a good childhood. My mum did what she could as a single mother and did the best that she could. And I feel like losing my grandmother was one of the hardest things. But SJR, the way she sewed into my life, and she kept, one word that kept me going through the whole grieving process was that you will see harvest in the pain, like you will. And for me, like, I was like, sis, like, how are you so many miles away, but you still find a way to speak into me, and not even just like speak into my life, but you're active, like, you physically, tangibly do things that will just remind you that God is present in your life. So yeah, like,
and that's huge too, because, like, we're talking about somebody that's holding a whole movement on her back, right? Like, there are thousands, if not millions, of women being impacted by the movement, yet she thinks enough of the women, not just the women that are on staff or that volunteer, but even people like Sunny that came in. Like, she's checking on our hearts for real. Like, it's not, you know, just to be doing something. Like, she truly cares. And to find somebody like that with that type of, you know, mantle, like that type of calling on their life, and to truly care, like, that is so rare. And I think that's why you see the Woman Evolve people going so hard. Like, we go super hard for
Yeah,
Woman Evolve.
honestly.
You know what I'm saying? And we go hard in the sisterhood and support and everything. And even in our pursuits. And I think that's what's so beautiful, because we see how hard she goes for us.
Yeah.
And so we go just that hard, you know, in our
Well, yeah.
pursuit in life and for one another. So
Honestly.
it's been so beautiful.
Yeah, it's been an incredible journey, and just to be able
Yeah.
to continuously serve on this team. Like, I wrote this job yesterday on the release of a book. I was just like, December 2017, you asked me to join your journey, and we've never looked back since. Like, even on the tour, the way she makes sure that she just creates a safe space for you to just like, you just feel loved. And as everybody has said, you feel seen. You're like,
Yeah.
you see me, you've got 7 kids or 6. So
Exactly.
You've got how many kids? You've got a whole husband, you've got a whole business, you've got things to be doing, but you still make time to make sure that our hearts, like, her question is, how is your heart? And you're like, the moment you say that, like, how can I even run away from this? I can't even dodge it.
And it's funny because it caused me to ask myself that, because I didn't realize it until she started asking me. I'm like, I don't never ask, like, how my heart doing. I ain't never asked myself, like, how your heart, girl? Like, never. And so just that prompt in itself made me dig deeper. You know, and so just the impact is so huge. It's so transformative overall, and it's so beautiful to see and watch. And I had to have you come in, Tanya.
Girl, thank you, sis. You know I love you.
Love you.
I can't wait for this panorama pandemic Panasonic to be over so we can just hug each other and see each other.
Okay,
Sis.
and it's gonna be sooner than later. That's my
Amen.
plan.
Amen, because I'm ready to catch flights, and if anything, you and the whole family can come to London. You have a home here.
We got somewhere to
You're
go.
welcome. You're welcome.
No, I love you, Tanya. Thank you so much for
much.
coming through, boo.
Honestly, it's a pleasure and it's an honor. Thank you for saying yes. Thank you for writing the blogs. Thank you for stepping out. You are an incredible mother, wife, woman. Like, the way you show up, the way you're so vibrant, you're so loving. And one of my key memories with you is your birthday on tour. Like, for me, it's just, sis, like,
that was so much. That was so much. Like, I need y'all to know, like, when we're on tour, we really like family, okay? Because we together. You see me first thing in the morning, you see me at night, you see me raggedy, you see all of that, okay? But when we was on tour, y'all, like, because of the pandemic, I'm gonna tell them real quick how it went. Because of the pandemic, no, it wasn't even pandemic. My birthday, 2020, is the day Kobe Bryant passed. And my husband planned a surprise birthday party that went womp, 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 because we spent the whole birthday staring at the TV screens, crying at what's going on. So much so, I forgot to even blow out the candles at my cake, girl. It was crazy, okay? So I had just wrapped up that birthday for 2020, and I'm like, oh, well, whatever. And while we were on tour, I think I was telling Doe asked me, like, what did you do for your birthday? And I was like, oh, girl, you don't even want to know about that birthday.
Let's not talk about it.
So I told Doe about what happened in my birthday. And even though it was February, a whole month later, while we're on tour, they planned a surprise birthday party for me. They had cake. They had my husband, my kids on FaceTime. It was so beautiful. And I felt so seen and so loved by all of these people that ordinarily you wouldn't call family, because I didn't know you guys forever, you know, or anything like that. A lot of the people on tour I had just met for the first time. But in that moment, I felt the family. I felt the connection, the bond. And that's what Pastor Sarah, that's what Pastor Teray, that's what the One LA family, you know, the Potter's House family has created for so many of us. So that was so beautiful. Thank you for taking part, Tanya.
Honestly,
I love
it's a
you.
pleasure. I love you.
See you soon, boo.
Bye. And now
Bye.
I'm feeling like British. How do you do this thing?
You gotta log out, boo, because I can't take you out. I don't know.
Bye.
Woo! All right, y'all. That was fun. So I know I went went over the time. I normally try to keep it for an hour, but it's just been so impactful for so many of us. And I just needed to make it very clear that we not leaving no sister behind. So if you didn't know about Pastor Sarah prior to today, you know now, sis. Okay, if you didn't know about Woman Evolve before today, you need to get off this live, not right now, because I got something to say first, but I need you, when you log off the live today, to go to @Woman Evolve so that you can join the movement. There is so much that Woman Evolve has to offer. I know you heard us talk about the podcast. We also have a Woman Evolve TV, which is streaming, that has everyday women talking about the things that impact us. There is Shop Woman Evolve, okay? And the clothes are fly. That's also where my jacket came from. And there are so many things that you can connect with the community, Facebook groups, all kinds of things. So make sure you guys all look up Woman Evolve. And before we go, for all of my homegirls that's stuck in there to the end, guess what, y'all? Guess what? Shorty came with gifts. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. We got books. We got books. Hey, 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 hey. So I need the first 10 women to share this live on their story will receive a free Woman Evolve book. Oh, yeah, sis. Oh, yeah. We got 10 books and we are giving them away. So be quick. Be sure to share this on your story, and the first 10 women, I will be sending you a copy of Woman Evolve. Break up with your fears and revolutionize your life. Because sis, we out here and we all doing it together. Flat out. That's what it's going to be. So can't wait to see you guys next week. Can't wait for you all to DM me, get this book. It's about to go down, and I can't wait to hear the testimonies that come from it. I can't wait to support your businesses. I can't wait to continue to encourage you along the way, because we got you, sis. We are our sister's keepers. So I am so excited. We love you, Pastor Sarah. We love you, Woman Evolve team. And I will see you all here next week on another episode of Me and My Homegirls. Love y'all. See you next week.